Hey, this is Matt. Welcome back to the channel where I'm going to be talking about nutritional imbalances and diffuse hair loss. So if you are pumped for this video, make sure you smash that like button right now. And before we start with the video, this video has been brought to you by GoFiber, which are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning or patchy areas on your scalp to make your hair look thicker and better. So make sure you check out the link in the video description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice from them and try them out. See if you like them. Hey, welcome back to the channel once again. My name is Matt and you are watching my hair loss and hair transplant related channel where I talk about these topics all year round. So if you are interested in these topics, educating yourself about proper hair loss management as well as doing the hair transplant the proper way, then make sure you smash that subscribe button as well and hit that notification as well. So next time I'm going to be uploading a valuable video, you're going to get notified and you won't miss any updates from me. Now let's come back to the topic of today's video, which is diffuse hair loss caused or potentiated by any type of nutritional imbalances in your diet. Diffuse hair loss can be also as a result of androgenetic alopecia, as a result of DHT, dihydrotestosterone, progressively miniaturizing your hair follicles. So it can be definitely androgen related, and this can be more like a long-term type of diffuse hair loss. But diffuse hair loss can also occur as a result of nutritional imbalances. And if you are somebody who is suffering from androgenetic alopecia, to begin with, having any nutritional imbalances in your diet can definitely speed up that androgenetic alopecia and potentiate that type of hair loss by more diffuse hair loss resulting from that nutritional imbalances. So this is the distinction right from the start. And on the other hand, there are also individuals who are not experiencing any androgenetic alopecia, but they still experience or can experience diffuse hair loss as a result of nutritional imbalances, for example. And this type of hair loss would be classified as telogen effluvium. Some of you guys already know who have been watching my channel for a while. What are the most common imbalances in your nutrition which could result in diffuse hair loss? Well, before I talk about the mineral and vitamin imbalances, I want to also talk about the macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fatty acids, specifically protein, because we know, some of you guys already know that protein is made of that the hair is made of protein. Specifically, 3 main amino acids are the most essential for keratin production, which is the building block of your hair. Specifically, amino acids L-cysteine, methionine, and L-lysine. So definitely individuals who are not consuming enough protein in their diet, they can experience not sufficient incorporation of these amino acids into keratin, and thus the hair can look weaker. It can be breaking off. It can also look diffusely thinning. Sometimes it can be misinterpreted for hair breakage. So definitely you should be consuming enough protein in your diet, ideally more than 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. This is the recommended dietary allowance, but I'm sure most of you guys watching my channel who are also into fitness, you're probably consuming way more than 1 gram of kilogram of protein per kilogram. So you should definitely be fine. You shouldn't have any issues with low protein intake resulting in diffuse hair loss in your specific case. Maybe it's more common by women who are not consuming so much protein, and poor protein intake by women can actually result in some diffuse hair loss. So if you are a girl, you can check that if you are consuming enough protein or not. Now, as far as consumption of fats like fatty acids or carbohydrates, it hasn't been really shown that the consumption of these two other macronutrient types can severely impact your hair loss. It has been more shown that the consumption of fatty acids and carbohydrates can manipulate your sebum levels. Especially consumption of saturated fats has been shown to increase your sebum production in the scalp, as well as consumption of simple sugars, which can definitely increase the sebum production. So this can also have positive but also negative effects on your scalp, because some of you guys already know if you have overproduction of sebum in the scalp, it can lead to overpopulation of malassezia, dandruff. It can cause dandruff and also conditions like seborrheic dermatitis. So you also want to keep that sebum levels under control. But when it comes down to all of the macronutrient types, only protein is really standing out here, which has really important influence on your hair and hair strength. Now, Now, I want to talk about mineral and vitamin deficiencies in your diet linked to hair loss, and the one that is like most frequently being linked to hair loss, specifically diffuse hair loss, would be iron and deficiency in iron. And the hair loss resulting from iron deficiency has a specific name, and it's called anemia. If you suffer from anemia, your hair can feel drier and it can even become lighter in color. So if you are a woman, especially women can notice that after menstruation, after pregnancy, when they're losing a lot of blood, and you know that 70% of your iron is being stored in red blood cells. So if you have an accident and you lose a lot of blood out of the sudden or during an operation, then you can suffer from like severe iron deficiency, and then this can result in anemia even by people or individuals who are non-male pattern baldness sufferers or non-androgenetic alopecia sufferers whatsoever. It can happen. So iron would be like the most frequently occurring mineral in studies which had been linked to diffuse hair loss. So make sure you check it out next time when you are getting your blood tests done, especially if you are a female and you have been suffering from some diffuse thinning, or the hair is now, you know, looking lighter than usual. You may want to check that iron levels, whether they are in range or whether they are insufficient. I would say second most frequently occurring mineral, which many people discuss whether it can help with hair loss or not, would be zinc, and that's why many people are supplementing zinc. That's why also if you go to Amazon and you're looking for some hair health supplements, you almost never find a one without zinc in it. However, if we take a look at a recent review from 2018, and if we look up zinc, we will find out that the data on zinc deficiency as to whether it's causing diffuse hair loss or not are unfortunately not homogeneous, and findings are too inconsistent to recommend screening. So if you are somebody who's suffering from short-term hair loss, like short-term diffuse hair loss like telogen effluvium or androgenetic alopecia, chances are zinc may or may not even help. So it's not that vital to supplement it, especially not if you check your zinc levels in your blood and they are actually all right, they are in range. There's really no reason to supplement your zinc further in hope of having thicker, healthier hair. Also, in this cross-sectional study of 115 subjects diagnosed with telogen effluvium, acute and chronic, found that only 9.6% of these subjects diagnosed with telogen effluvium had zinc deficiency, in fact. So again, severe zinc deficiency may not always be a sign of chronic or even acute telogen effluvium. As far as magnesium and calcium and other very well-known minerals, it's very unlikely that you will be deficient in them, especially if you are consuming like dairy products. You will have enough calcium. Also, if you're consuming a lot of dark leafy greens, you will have enough magnesium and calcium. So I would conclude, like, as long as you are living in the first world country like United States, most of the countries in the Central and Western Europe, you are very unlikely to have like magnesium or calcium deficiencies. As far as selenium, it's another mineral which you can actually lose hair, not if you have less of it, but if you have too much of it. It has been shown that you can suffer from hair loss if you have too much selenium, so be careful of that. And as far as silicon, orthosilic acid, it's been classified as mineral as well, and it has been shown that orthosilic acid or silica, you can also see many available silica supplements online, which have been shown to improve the tensile strength of hair, but also not really like cure your diffuse hair loss. Now let's talk about the vitamins and the potential deficiencies of particular vitamins like B vitamin family, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin C, and vitamin A. So deficiencies of which of these vitamins have been linked to diffuse thinning? Are you even likely to be deficient in some of these vitamins, and which of these vitamins have shown like highest deficiency rates? Vitamin D would be definitely the one that most people are deficient in, They don't even know it probably, and some scientists and researchers even refer to it as a hidden epidemic, like deficiency in vitamin D, especially if you are living in like northern hemisphere, or you are like living in a colder climate where you are not getting enough sunshine all year round, because most of the vitamin D is being absorbed through your skin. And it has been shown that young children who have Rickets type 2, which is inability to absorb vitamin D, they not only have huge bone issues and bone problems, their bones they don't develop properly, but they also develop either scalp alopecia or even full body alopecia. So we know that if we don't have vitamin D, it can definitely mess with our hair, and I certainly experience it as well almost every winter when I notice that my hair is not as strong and thick, and that could be also a reason of that potential vitamin D deficiency. So if you are a guy or a female, you can check your vitamin D levels next time, maybe through the winter time, if they're in a healthy range, in the reference range, or whether you are severely deficient, because this could be a reason why your hair is not feeling the strongest it could feel. And maybe it's breaking off, maybe it's also diffusely thinning. And if we take a look at the recent review from 2018 on vitamins and mineral deficiencies and potential hair loss, we see that vitamin D, the results of many vitamin D studies on hair loss are conflicting, but most authors in fact agree on supplementing vitamin D in patients with hair loss and vitamin D deficiency. And if we talk about alopecia areata, for example, the research is kind of clear on supplementing vitamin D, because it has been shown almost in most of the studies that vitamin D is definitely improving the alopecia areata outcome and enhances response to the treatment. So if you're suffering from alopecia areata, vitamin D is definitely a good thing to supplement. Now, if we talk about vitamin C, by the way, is important for iron absorption as well, as I was talking about the anemia condition. If you have maybe even enough iron, but this iron is not being absorbed properly, and this is because you may not have enough vitamin C. So make sure you also check that. If you have maybe suboptimal iron levels, you also want to make sure that you have enough vitamin C, or you can supplement vitamin C to boost that iron absorption, especially if you have anemia condition. That's kind of important. There's also L-lysine amino acid, which has been also shown to boost the absorption of iron the same way vitamin C. Vitamin C hasn't been really shown to be as important in hair loss besides boosting that absorption of iron. And vitamin E, there's really like not much data. There's not much data available, so we cannot really draw any conclusion out of this. When it comes down to vitamin A, again, too much vitamin A has been linked to hair loss, so be careful of that. But now let's talk about the B family: B2, B3, B9, B6, B12, biotin, all very well-known vitamins that many of you guys may be supplementing in form of a B complex supplement in order to have healthy hair, or maybe you're a vegan or vegetarian and you are not ingesting enough protein from the animal-based products like dairy and meats, and that's why it makes sense to supplement vitamin B. But if you take a look at the research looking at B vitamin deficiencies and linking it to some type of hair loss like diffuse hair loss, we'll find out that most of the studies are also not kind of giving us like clear conclusions. Data are either too scarce or the findings are also quite inconsistent. For example, with the infamous biotin, this review study is saying that biotin levels can be low in patients complaining of hair shedding. Efficacy of supplementation is unfortunately not supported by evidence-based trials, and exogenous biotin interferes with some laboratory tests, creating false negative or false positive results. So that's also important, and that's why I wouldn't think about supplementing certain types of B vitamins unless I know for a fact that I'm deficient in B2 or B3 or B12 or whatever, or biotin. But it's very, very unlikely, again, as long as you're living in any of the first world countries and you are eating a wide variety of foods, plant-based as well as animal-based, you should definitely not worry about being vitamin B deficient at all. Now, before I end this video, I'd like to present you findings on a statistic which was pretty much observing 15,000 US subjects older than 9 years old, consisting out of men and women, and they were observing how many or which types of individuals are more likely to develop any type of nutritional deficiency. And this study found out that there was a significantly higher risk of deficiency in any of the mineral or vitamin in women, more in women than in men, also in non-Hispanic blacks, individuals from low-income households, and this kind of correlates with that third world countries. You know, if you are from a third world country, probably you're more likely to have these deficiency than somebody who is living in the United States, Europe, Australia, and so on. Also, underweight individuals are more likely to develop deficiency, like anorectic individuals, more often females than males who are thinking they're too overweight, and they develop this condition, which has definitely a mental aspect to it as well. And these underweight individuals, as a result of not consuming enough proper nutrients, they can develop many nutritional deficiencies over time. But surprisingly, also obese individuals, pregnant or breastfeeding women. So it seems like statistically, if you are a man from a first world country, you are actually least likely to have or develop any of the nutritional imbalances, and then potentially causing or potentiating your hair loss. So guys, that was pretty much it for this video. The goal was to help you understand which nutrients or which imbalances in your nutrition may have like the biggest impact on potentially like worsening your hair loss or developing some telogen effluvium condition and whatnot, if you are a male or a female. So next time you will be buying or shopping on Amazon, you want to buy some hair strengthening supplement or something that could boost your hair thickness or whatnot. If you enjoyed this video, again, hit the thumb up button, subscribe to my channel if you are interested in getting on a one-on-one consultation with me, where I can help you out with your hair loss management or hair transplant, things like research of your hair transplant doctor, assistance throughout your hair transplant correspondence phase with your doctor. Make sure you sign up on a one-on-one call with me. There is a link to it in the description below. You can visit my website, mattdominance.com, if you want to inform yourself on the best hair transplant doctors in the world, in Turkey, how to research your clinic properly. You can visit our free Facebook group, Hair Transplant Experiences, with over 3,000 members in the group as well. The link is there as well. You can check it out on Facebook. Other than that, thank you so much for visiting my channel, watching this video until this very end. I highly appreciate it, and leave me a comment below if you really like it and you want to ask me something, or you want to suggest any other topic. Make sure you do so right now. Take care, and I will see you next time in another video.